everybody, it's me again. I know, with another video so soon, but just as I had promised, I'm going to make a video just demonstrating how I personally take my pictures by myself. If you didn't know, yes, I take all my pictures by myself, the jumping pictures, the smiling pictures, the pretending to be thinking pictures. I take all of those by myself. So the question I get asked the most is, how do I take my pictures by myself? So I just wanted to make a short video just showing you what I do to take my pictures. Now obviously I'm using the camera, the DSLR camera that I use to take my pictures. So I'm going to be demonstrating with this other camera that I have. It's a Sony CyberShot. I've had it for about 3 years, and it's like my purse camera. It fits in my purse because the other camera is really big with big lenses. So first of all, the things that you will need if you want to take pictures by yourself, you will need a camera. I do recommend, if you can't afford a DSLR camera, get one. If not, a lot of the CyberShot cameras actually have at least 16 megapixels. Some of them have 20, 21, that might work. But you need a camera, and you need a tripod, and a remote control. So basically what I do to take my pictures, I go outside with my tripod. This is really handy because it's very foldable. Like what I do is I have a little bag, it comes with a little bag, and if I'm going somewhere I just put it in the bag and seal it and throw it on my back, and that's it. So it's very handy. So this is my tripod. These, you can get tripods, a decent tripod, anywhere between $50 and $200, $500. Mine was mid-range. I got mine for about $110. I got it from Black's Photography, Black's camera. So this is the tripod. You see, this is the shortest length. I usually take my pictures at this length because I find that it gives a very wide angle and it's about my height. I'm not this short, but what the tripod does is, you think that, you know, in order to get a good size shot you need a really high tripod. No, this actually does work because it captures a wide angle both vertically and horizontally. So this is what I do. Then if you want to, for example, make it longer, all you need to do is, see, just open that and pull, and open that and pull, and see there, it's taller. Now this one goes pretty tall. I believe it goes up to 65 inches, which is really tall. So you see, you can keep expanding it and keep expanding it, so it makes the leg longer and longer and longer. And you see right there already, and then you close it off, you lock it at the bottom. So I'm gonna block it so that it stays that length. Lock it here, and here, and there. And you see, look at that, it's already this high. This is the usual height I use when I'm filming a video. And then I just take it away from me. So now that you have the tripod all open, you need to screw the camera on top. Almost every single camera is standard of pretty much every digital camera. They have like these little, I don't know if you can see them, it's like a little silver thing right here. That's actually where you hook the tripod onto the camera. Now you see, all you do is you twist it and twist it until it's all sealed up. And look at that, see, it doesn't fall off. Doesn't fall off, see? And that's how you screw your camera on top. Now with the DSLR cameras, obviously it won't be hanging off. It will just fit right in the middle. It's because this is really tiny, but almost all your digital cameras, they have that screw on the bottom. So you have that set, then you turn it on, and there you have it all set up. And then if you want to start taking your pictures, I do, you know, maybe 5 to 10 test shots, standing at different distances. Once you're already used to taking pictures, you'll know which is the perfect distance between yourself and the camera before you start shooting, to get full body shots and to get just outfit, accessories. And it also depends on the lens you have. I use a 35mm lens, so my shots they're better when they're closer up. That's when you get a lot of that blur in the background when it's a close-up. So this is how I do it, and then after that, my camera takes remote control. So that's how I'm able to take my pictures, jumping and doing other stuff without having to wait for a 10-second timer all the time. So I'm able to take many shots. I just keep taking. I have the option of the camera taking after either 2 seconds or immediately. 2 seconds gives me enough time to hide the remote control so you guys don't see it. So basically, tripod, put the camera on top, and then remote control. Now, it's not every camera that takes the remote control. I was lucky mine does take remote control. And there's 2 types. There's the wired remote control, which I would hate, because imagine moving around with a bunch of wires in order to get, your pictures taken. I like my wireless remote control. This is it right here. The original remote control, the Sony remote control, was really expensive. I think it was about $50, $60. I didn't have that money. I went on Amazon and also on eBay. There's a bunch of people selling remote controls that are compatible with several of the Sony Alpha cameras, and they come up to about $5, shipping included. So I got about 2, and then I got batteries, for backup. So I have, I keep one remote control in my purse. I keep the other one at home. So I know that every time I go out, I have a remote control on me, whether or not I have the camera on me. So let me just turn it off. And then to move around, so like I showed you, the tripod can fit in this nice bag, throw it over your shoulder. And then to carry my camera around, I got this. It's the actual Sony case, but it's pretty handy because it takes the camera and it takes 2 lenses as well. So I have enough space, This is what it looks like. So it's this really cute bag. And it has all the cushions, so it keeps everything protected, and you can just expand it to how big you want the space to be or how little. So yeah, it's really handy. Like, I have my other lens in here. I just keep everything in here. So whatever, if it falls, I'm not afraid anything's going to happen. It's pretty shock proof. So yeah, this is the case I use. So I go around with my case when I'm going to take shots, my tripod on my back, and my camera in its case, and my remote control, and that's basically I take the pictures. I'm sure you have questions of, how do I feel people staring at me? At the beginning, it's awkward. It is awkward in the beginning, but what I learned to do is to move around with my business cards. So when people are staring or asking questions, I just give them my business card and tell them to beat it. Not that way, but I just give out my business cards. It brings more viewers, If out of every 10 business cards you give out, 2 people check the blog out, that's great. So I do that. Of course, there's also nosy neighbors sometimes, but that's okay. I also try. I like going and taking pictures. If I'm, with my tripod, I don't go into the middle of the street. Like, I try and find a more isolated area, relatively isolated. There's gonna be cars, a couple of people, but that's fine as long as I can get my shots done. So yeah, I don't know if you have any further questions, just drop a comment below and I'll answer. I'm good at answering. And yeah, that's about it. And thank you for watching the video. Bye!